Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Well, India will get commercial 5G services as early as 2022, said Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in Parliament. Presenting the Union Budget 2022, Sitharaman outlined that the government will hold an auction for 5G spectrum in 2022. But the implementation of services will happen in 2022 or 2023. This officially pushes back the 5G rollout in India for the masses to nearly 1 year later than expected, giving smartphone makers more time to evaluate the market with regards to 5G. Now, we have a keynote address by Mr. K. Rajaraman, Secretary, Department of Telecommunications and Ministry of Electronics and IT, Government of India, and Chairman, Digital Communications Commission. He will share a roadmap for making 5G accessible and affordable. Let's hear it from Mr. Rajaraman.
It is my pleasure to be part of the third edition of the National Governance Virtual Summit. I would like to thank the Economic Times for inviting and giving the opportunity to deliver the keynote address at this session on roadmap for making 5G accessible and affordable. Governments are increasingly putting digital empowerment of citizens and digital strategies at the center of their policy agendas, which have narrowed digital divides fast in recent years. As a result of these priorities, the existing high level of digital connectivity has enabled many businesses and households to transition online, although the increased reliance on digital solutions has added a new urgency to concerns around digital security. India is home to over 1.2 billion telecom subscribers with highest mobile data consumption rates and one of the lowest mobile internet tariffs. Digital India, a flagship program of the Government of India, has laid a robust foundation to embark on digital transformation and digital empowerment, which has played a pivotal role during pandemic for delivery of various services. India is among the global leaders in the innovation and startup ecosystem with over 60,000 startups, out of which more than 10,000 startups have been registered in the last 6 months. At present, India is has the third largest number of unicorns in the world, out of which 50% has been formed in 2021 itself. The vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji, is to leverage different technological solutions for development of the nation, ensuring the connectivity to unreached, far-flung, remote, and non-accessible areas. The government is implementing BharatNet. Further, Department of Telecommunications through the Universal Services Obligation Fund has set its goals on expanding mobile coverage in rural and remote areas, especially in aspirational districts. A project to cover 7,294 villages in aspirational districts in 10 states is under implementation. All these measures will ensure digital, financial, economic, and social inclusion of rural citizens. With an aim of further boosting the growth of telecom industry, promote healthy competition, and to enhance the penetration of broadband and digital services, Government of India has recently announced path-breaking reforms for the telecom sector. These reforms include increase in spectrum tenure from 20 to 30 years, no spectrum usage charges for spectrum acquired in future auctions, allowing 100% foreign investment through automatic route, and addressing the liquidity requirements of telecom service providers. All these reforms are likely to significantly better the outlook for the telecom industry in the medium to long term. The Honorable Minister for Communications, Shri Ashwini Vaishnavji, has directed the Department of Telecommunications to benchmark itself with the best in class in terms of the regulatory environment. We are therefore working on steps to reduce or eliminate unnecessary procedures, compliance costs, and regulatory burden for licensees. The focus of the government on domestic technology has also borne fruit. Center for Development of Telematics, CDOT, has developed a 4G core whose testing is in the final stages jointly with the radio access networks from the Tata Consultancy Services, Tejas Networks, etc., making possible an Indian 4G stack. The 5G testbed with funding of rupees 224 crores by the Department of Telecommunications, comprising of 8 institutions including IIT Madras, IIT Kanpur, IIT Hyderabad, Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru, IIT Mumbai, and Samir, have successfully developed a 5G stack that can be used by the local industry and startups for world-class implementation. The Union Budget for 2022-23 has provided an impetus to the telecom sector through allocating 5% of annual collections under the Universal Services Obligation Fund to promote research and development and commercialization of technologies and solutions in order to enable affordable broadband and mobile services in rural and remote areas. We expect to operationalize the scheme in the financial year 2022-23, and this would lead to focus on Indian design and manufacturing of telecom equipment with focus on rural and remote areas. Department of Telecommunications 5G Hackathon has triggered the use case development ecosystem to reap benefits of 5G technologies and enable close working with service providers. Department of Telecommunications received a total of 1,024 applications from students, individuals, startups, MSMEs, and working professionals at the initial stage of the scheme. It has announced 100 winners of Phase 1 in January 2021 and awarded them rupees 1 lakh each for further development. These 100 winners were then provided mentorship by academia, industry, and telecom service providers and the government for development of 5G use cases relevant for India. Now, the Department of Telecommunications has selected the 30 top applications in Phase 2 of Hackathon. Keeping in view India's specific requirements and to take lead in 5G deployment, the Department of Telecommunications has approved a financial grant for the multi-institute collaborative project to set up the indigenous 5G testbed about which I referred to. So this testbed will enable the Indian academy and industry to validate their products and algorithms. Intellectual property development with Indian designs will be the biggest outcome of this exercise. Department of Telecommunications has also mapped the ongoing 5G technologies and use case development activities in the country and is enabling continuous collaboration among stakeholders. An inter-ministerial committee is actively working with several ministries, including agriculture, urban development, power, etc., on developing and testing 5G use cases. Small cell development is going to be a key area in the densification of 5G networks. The Department of Telecommunications is working with stakeholders and state agencies for right-of-way facilitation and accessing street furniture. As far as requirement of spectrum for rollout of 5G services is concerned, Department of Telecommunications has identified additional spectrum and has sought recommendations of the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. We hope to kickstart the process of spectrum auctions as soon as we receive the recommendation from TRAI. We have also set up a technology innovations group on 6G, task forces on advanced optical communications, machine-to-machine communications, and quantum communications to bring in expertise from both academia and industry and setting the stage for driving technology engagement in the next generation technologies. We intend to aid, assist, and accelerate the development of Indian intellectual property. With this, I would like to wish the National Governance Virtual Summit a great success. Thank you all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Mr. Rajaraman. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing the roadmap ahead. With that, we'll now move on to the next session. Stay tuned, everyone.